Oh, Johnny. Johnny. Oh my, we're going to be talking about Johnny Depp today, guys. Welcome to Mirror Domains Movie News, your place for entertainment headlines for April 20th, 2022. And we've got a really big show for you guys today. We're going to be talking about Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. To start off the story, well, it's a big, huge story, guys. And all of these other topics too. We've got a lot of stories to go through today. So if you're joining us live in the live chat, we'll be talking with you in between the stories. And if you got anything that you want to contribute, by all means say, hey man, Michael Kelly in the live chat says, hey, okay. So, and if you don't know how this works, afterwards, all of these topics will be linked in time codes in the description and comment section below. There are all my social media handles. You're watching Mirror Domains Movie News, your place for entertainment headlines, where we do talk about the movie news. And let's get right into it with Johnny Depp. In his first trial testimony, he took to the stand yesterday, and I saw little snippets and clips of it. And I want to know your guys' input on this stuff, because there are people on both sides that are like, Team Johnny, Team Amber, and they're going to be on their sides regardless of whatever comes out. And I'm not like that. I'm somebody who is watching this. I'm hoping, I said when this whole thing started, that I'm hoping that they just come out of this in a way that they haven't damaged each other's careers to the point that they can't come back from that. It's going to be messy. It's a he said, she said type of thing. And Johnny had some pretty damning testimony yesterday, talking about how they first met and how the relationship went toxic. Now, of course, there's going to be her story as well that came out as well, saying that he had some alcohol and substance abuse problems that led to them getting into fights with each other. Michael says in the live chat, he is guilty for being dumb. He should have stayed with his first wife, Vanessa Paradis. I don't know who that is. But yeah. And if you read this is like the big juicy story out there. And how does it affect movies and the process going forward? Well, it has to deal with the careers, right? I mean, Johnny Depp is a huge star. People want to use him in movies and stuff because he still is a good actor. But all of this stuff is it's a defamation suit. So this is like her claims of him being like a wife abuser. This is about being dragged through the mud. It's losing him money and stuff like that. And it's a big, huge thing. And he's going to be on the stand. I think he's on the stand now, actually, at this time. Or maybe they've broken for lunch. But he says some of the quotes there, a lot of it's just plainly false. I think it's easy target for her to hit because once you've trusted somebody with a certain amount of your years, then you've told them all the secrets of your life. And yeah, of course, you're married to them and you've trusted them with your most intimate secrets, you would think. And it sounds like he did. He trusted her with everything. And yes, he did talk about he had some problems about some painkillers that he was addicted to. And we know that he does like to have, a few libations every now and then, like most of us do. But apparently from her side of the story, he was sometimes going into that blackout state. So yes, guys, if you are ever out there and you are dealing with that kind of a problem, and you have the tendency to get into that blackout, that's when you got to really step back and you got to go, wait a minute, how did I wake up here? What happened last night? Or if you wake up in the morning and you realize that somebody tells you, hey, did you really mean to do that last night? And you're like, I did what? That's when you know you're in trouble. That's when you got to adopt some rules and some measures in your life to have that not happen. Michael Kelly says in live chat, a man can't hit a woman no matter what. Exactly. Even under the influences of anything. You just can't do it. And it is what it is when in these situations, and it's going to be hard to see what's going to happen from this. But he's going to take to the stand again today, and he says that he, when he first met her, it was too good to be true. That like they really had good chemistry to start off, and he says that it's been 6 years of trying times, he said. It's very strange when one day you're Cinderella and in zero point 0.6 seconds you're Quasimodo. So she had the tendency to flip like that. I don't know anything about her psychological status, guys. I'm just saying that he says in his quote, I didn't deserve that, nor did my children, nor the people who believed in me all these years. And that happens. I think we've all been in relationships that have been testing us, that have tested us. And people are people. I mean, you do have those days where you're just like fine at one moment, and then something happens in you that triggers you. And if you can't control that, you don't know how to deal with people when you're around other people when you're like that. Especially when you're married, you think that you can share those kinds of moments and those transitions and hopefully deal with them as a couple. But it came to a head. And a lot of people are going to be talking about his testimony for sure, because at first glance, and what happened in the UK, I think he lost his first case in the UK, saying that the judge said that there was enough evidence that, that her claims were valid. But then all of a sudden now on this side of the pond, we're talking about his side, and they talked about his finger and stuff like that, like how his finger got cut. And to see him on the stand there, you go watch the actual footage. I'm sure there's live streams here on YouTube about it. And you can tell that he's very uncomfortable being there on the stand. And it's just an ugly situation. If there's anything big and huge revelations that come from this, we will definitely be talking about it. But I wanted to highlight that it's starting with the actual testimonies, and it's going to be something that everybody's going to be talking about in the realm of entertainment news, keeping their eyes on. And you never wish this upon anybody, right? You never wish this upon anybody. Okay, let's move on. Ezra Miller arrested again. Unbelievable. Ezra Miller arrested again. In Hawaii, police say apparently he threw a chair at somebody. God, this dude Ezra Miller needs some serious help, man. So he was arrested before for grabbing the microphone out of somebody's hand at a karaoke bar and threatening to kill somebody. And then I guess he got a restraining order on them, and then that was dropped by the couple because I guess they tried to make peace. But now all of a sudden he's arrested again. Oh, Jesus, man. Ezra Miller, according to the police, became irate after being asked to leave and reportedly threw a chair, striking a 26-year-old female on the forehead, talking about a man not being able to hit a woman. I mean, come on. Oh, my God. Jesus H. Mother, Joseph. Miller was arrested shortly thereafter. So that's twice now. And I need him to be detained, not let loose on bail or anything, because apparently if you let him go, he's going to continue doing this stuff. And this is going to set a huge problem for the studio. And now I really want to address what's going to happen with The Flash, because the studio can't ignore this anymore. They can't just say, well, this happened and we'll just sweep it under the rug like they did before, because he's habitual offender. He's done this before. He's grabbed a girl by the throat and slammed her down on the ground. This is an issue, and this has to stop. He's got to be taken out of the limelight. He's got to be taken out of the public scrutiny, and he's got to go and either find another job, another kind of career. He's got to find help for his mental issues and his struggles right now, because he needs it. And all of these arrests are cries for help. And let's talk about The Flash. What do? The movie's in the can, but it got delayed a whole year. We've got two options here that I think that the studio can do with this for The Flash. One, and I think that this is what they should do. They should just reshoot the picture. Reshoot it. He's already got the money from the contract. They paid him already. So it's not an issue of contractual status of, hey, if you use somebody else, then you're stepping on his abilities. No, I'm sure there's clauses in that contract and escape clauses for situations like this, where if you go to jail and you get busted for something, this contract is void. So, I mean, I would say right now, as an executive, I'd be like, you either reshoot it or you release the movie now. Don't put it in the theaters. Put it out on HBO Max or whatever, and just look the other way. People will watch it. People will have their reactions to it. It'll make some money back. It's not going to make any huge amount of money back unless you dump more money into it and reshoot it. That's what I think you have to do, because he's playing multiple characters in it already, and there's already somebody else playing him. So all they did was CG his face onto the other's flash. We saw that in the trailers, guys, so it's not a huge spoiler. And this is Supergirl behind him right there. So it's not going to be a huge undertaking. In fact, you could probably just replace his head on somebody else. Like, there are things that you can do. There's workarounds. And I feel bad for Andy Muschietti for this. He's the director. He's the one that helmed this and had this new vision of this. Michael Kelly says in live chat, Hollywood privilege, Ezra can do or say anything with no consequences. Look at Weinstein, Will Smith. Well, Will Smith had consequences. Not serious ones, but he had consequences. Or Cosby, and Cosby, yeah. Well, this is a little bit different. This is like physical assault, and they had sexual stuff. Still crimes. Still things that they should be in jail for. Will Smith is more along the lines of this, of actually hitting and striking somebody. But I think they just need to recast this. They need to, and they need to announce it soon. They need to announce soon that Ezra Miller's off the project. And you just, because we did our story yesterday that Ben Affleck's Batfleck is in this movie, and they kill him off in this movie, and then they revive him in the post-credit scene or something like that. They killed the Superman off screen in this Flash movie. It just sounds like a train wreck. It sounds like a mess. So as I said, the options are, one, you release it now, you release it on HBO Max, and then you just look the other way and you just forget about that version of the Flash. You forget about, sadly, Batfleck, and you forget about you got Michael Keaton out of the woodwork to come back and do this. You got Michael Keaton to do this, and you do this, Ezra. It feels like such a betrayal. I feel really passionate about this because I was really looking forward to this movie. I was looking forward to seeing Michael Keaton back as the Batman and wanting to see that, hopefully, that there was like that small glimmer of hope that perhaps they could somehow work in a way to restore the Snyderverse. And this is pretty much a death nail on it. Will Smith got a slap on the wrist. Arrest Will Smith, Michael Kelly says. And I do think that he should have been arrested. He should have been escorted out that night at the Oscars. And you know how I feel about that. I did a huge live stream that day. I do live streams on this channel all the time, guys. We do movie watch-alongs. We do trailer reactions. We do Moon Knight watch-alongs. Moon Knight's coming out later today. And that's because I really want to get involved with you guys in the live chat, with you guys in the comments. Hey, this is a place for movies, movie news, movie trailers, movie reviews. Oh, this is a good place to find movies. And sometimes I do get a little bit passionate. I apologize for that. But, when I see stuff like that Ezra Miller story, it bums me out. It gets me frustrated. It gets me angry because he needs help. And it doesn't seem like he's getting it. It doesn't seem like there's a support structure in there for him. And it just leaves you going. Okay, guys, we've been going down, and we have to go down one more time here for Netflix. But I'll try to bring the stories back up into a more positive light as we move towards the end, because there's some really fun stories here. The various headlines, I had to put in various headlines because it's a big news story day, guys. Big news story day for sure. Let's talk about this Netflix crashing story. What's this all about? Wall Street gives up on Netflix as its favorite stock. Now what? So the stock drops 30%. So yeah, it crashed on the market. It was projected to be up towards like 500. It was moving towards like $500 in stock, and now it's dropped to like 250 something. But apparently in the first quarter they lost 200,000 subscribers. And people are, well, what's going on here? Hey, what's happening? Because you know what? I am a big Netflix fan, and we've done movie reactions here on Netflix. The Texas Chainsaw reboot we reacted to. We watched the whole movie. The Adam Project was pretty good with Ryan Reynolds. Red Notice was good for Netflix. And we just reacted to Choose or Die, and a small indie horror on Netflix. I championed them until they slapped me on the wrist saying, no, you can't watch our movies. Then I'm on board with them. So I'm a huge, I don't want to say brown noser or, but I champion their work. I like them a lot. I watch Netflix quite a bit. And so they lowered their target price from $550 to $235 in a measure to try to balance out the stocks. Now, I'm not going to go into the stocks and up and down with all of the business aspect of this, but people are just going to be talking about this today too. So we got to go over some of the highlights so you know a little bit casually as to what's going on with this. So what's happening? What's causing this? This is a huge article over on Hollywood Reporter there, and they're speculating that it's the password sharing crackdown. And what that means is, somebody asked me about this. Does that mean that when I share, like let's say you have a household with two people and you share that password in between you people in the house? No, that's not what it means. It means like if I watch a movie on my account and say to my friend, hey, Johnny, check out this movie on Netflix that I just watched. Oh, you don't have an account? Here's my password. And I tell them over the phone. That kind of password sharing. And that's what a lot of people do. And people feel like they've done it for so long, they feel that sense of entitlement to it that, hey, I helped my friend pay for his account so I can watch it every now and then. And now all of a sudden he's saying, I can't do that anymore. Yeah, that's made people pause. But I think this is a necessary step that Netflix, and in fact all the streaming services, has to go through, because a lot of people do this sharing stuff and it's not giving them accurate numbers. It's not giving them accurate return on their investments. Cracking down on this, it'll be rough to start, like it has been, but eventually it'll go back up and it'll even out. But it's a publicly traded company, so the bottom drive is profit. They have to do everything for profit. They talked about bringing in a 0.5%, a half price version of Netflix, but you would get ads. You would get full of ads, just like Tubi, and Tubi's free. So hey, but you know what, Netflix? I think they're the first ones, because they're the biggest ones right now, that are going to have to fight this battle of trying to sort out password sharing. Because the product has been good, as I just ran off with some. Not all the products are good. I'll grant you that not all the Netflix movies are good. Yes, there's for every 4 movies or 5 movies, one of them is good. The rest are kind of mediocre if they're not terrible. I'll grant you that. In the series, everybody likes Stranger Things. That probably hurt it a bit too, because it got pushed a whole year, and it should have come out last year, season 4. And they need to, the series, it'll come around. Netflix will be okay. Our Glass Vikings in the live chat says, Netflix are renting a building I manage for a day to do some film work in May. So I absolutely love them. And yes, I think that's the thing, is that the stock is down right now. They'll bounce back from this. It's not something that's going to crush and destroy the company. They've been around they were like one of the first ones, right? So they'll endure. It's just, it's a rough road. They've hit that part of the road that's not quite paved yet, and it's bumpy, and things have gone down. The stock has dropped. I would say that it's not quite yet time to panic, to crack each other's heads open and feast on the gooing side kind of thing. It's not quite that stage yet, but it's kind of like, ooh, oh, we got to tread lightly here. And that's the state that Netflix is in right now. Okay, let's move on. Nike is going to get a Nike movie about the people who, about the dude who went out and tried to get Michael Jordan to sign to Nike. But who's going to be behind it? Ben Affleck and Matt Damon. Cool, man. They're going to team for a true life story of Nike sneaker man Sonny Vaccaro. Vaccaro. I think I'm hoping that I'm pronouncing that right. But you know what? These two working together, they're friends, obviously. They did Good Will Hunting together. And apparently Ben Affleck is going to be directing this. He's going to be helping to write and direct this and produce this with Matt Damon. And Matt Damon's going to star in it. So Matt Damon's going to be playing Sonny Vaccaro, I would imagine. That's cool, man. That's a cool pair. That's a cool setup. And it's going to be Affleck will direct, write, and co-star and produce in the untitled sports marketing drama, while Damon will star and also write and produce, about the guy trying to finalize the deal with Michael Jordan. Okay. In a story around Nike's long shot effort to sign rising star basketball player Michael Jordan to its shoe company in the mid-'80s, so it'll be a period piece. And that's a fascinating story. I think that's a fascinating story. 100%. I want to see that because what was big back then? It was Nike, Reebok. Those were the big two that I knew, that I grew up with, that who I always bought for. I was more of a Reebok man myself, but yeah, Nike, they had that inflated thing, right? Didn't they? They have those shoe pump things. You pump up your shoes. Cool, man. Yeah. That's something I'll have to keep my eye on for sure. What do you guys think about that? Let me know in the comments below, and we will talk about that. That's over on Hollywood Reporter if you want to go and read that article. Voltron, talking about the 80s and anime. Amazon is in talks to pick up Voltron with Red Notice filmmaker Rawson Marshall Thurber. Okay, so Amazon is going to make well, guys, you know what? They've been trying to make this Voltron movie for decades now. And if Amazon is going to pick this up, so that means may go to streaming services. They do put Amazon movies sometimes on the theaters, I think. But this is an anime project that I think a lot of people, there's a core audience that really wants to see this kind of stuff, that wants to see movies like Voltron and Thundercats. It's not a huge market, though. It's not huge. It's not like people overestimated even ones like Power Rangers. It's not a huge market. It's really small. And if they are thinking that Voltron can be $100 million movie, you're setting yourself up for disaster. That's what I feel. But it's going to be directed by Rawson Marshall, who did Red Notice with Ryan Reynolds, The Rock, and Gal Gadot. So I had fun with that movie. So Voltron is heading to Amazon for a live-action take on the 1980s anime. And he'll direct the feature. And let's see who else. Marshall Thurber. I didn't read his full name there. Rawson Marshall Thurber. Well, we can fix that right now, and I just did. So this Thurber is also going to be helping to write the script. He came up with the story and will co-write the script. So he's got this. So it sounds like he was a fan of the series from the 80s. As I said, just my concerns there that, if they try to go too big, it's not going to succeed. They got to tap into the Japanese market, though. They really got to work on getting that international market with this kind of stuff. And they step on the toes of the international market when they cast things like, as much as I loved her, Scarlett Johansson in Ghost in the Shell, they step on those toes when they make casting decisions like that. And they say, well, it's for the North American audience. Well, there's not a big North American audience for this stuff. And the studios need to realize that. Tap into the international markets, guys. Use international actors. Okay, let's go to the live chat here. Netflix, Glass Viking says in live chat, the Nike movie will absolutely be amazing with Matt and Ben teaming up. I love The Last Dance on Netflix, funnily enough. The Last Dance. Was that with Affleck, where he was like the basketball coach and he was recovering from problems? I haven't seen that one yet. I only trust, Michael Kelly in the live chat says, I only trust Voltron with Del Toro or other directors. Well, Guillermo del Toro did prove himself with the big robots, with obviously Pacific Rim. Yeah, I'll keep my eye on that one, guys. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below, and we will talk about it. Let's move on. Let's move on to what you're going to see here on this channel later today, guys. We're going to be watching Moon Knight episode 4, 2 p.m. today, guys, on this channel, live stream. So yeah, come join us for that. And then later tonight, we're going to be watching Survivor, 9:15 p.m. And guys, Jonathan, if you don't know who he is, he looks like he's going, whoo. He launches himself into the air in this episode. And if you don't know who Jonathan is, he's like our version of Thor for Survivor this season. And he's just a true a treasure to watch during the challenges, because he just blows it out of the water. He just goes over the top just like that, and I can't wait to see what that's all about tonight. Join us tonight at 9:15. He's like our version of Thor for Survivor. Let's talk about this Thor trailer. The Thor trailer that came out, Thor Love and Thunder trailer, hammers 209 million views in 24 hours. So the trailer dropped on Monday, guys, and I did a trailer reaction. It's up on the channel now, and we did a breakdown on Monday as well. I love this trailer. It's a teaser for sure, and it arrives July 18th, and now they're saying 209 million views. Now, what's going on here? Because when I go to the Marvel YouTube channel here, 24 million views, and that's just for today. So did they mean by they just collected all of the other sites that ran with it? I checked my feed here. So what do we got here? We got Movie Clips had 2 million. One Media had almost 1 million. Joe Blow had only 22K with their trailer. Huh. So what are they talking about here that it hit 209 million views in 24 hours? It was big. It was huge. But what's this? Oh, okay. So it's across all digital platforms. So it's across Twitter, it's across Facebook, TikTok, and all that stuff. So yeah, it was a huge trailer. Everybody's getting trailer reaction numbers through the roof for it. But I'm not, for some reason. I only have like 24 views on it right now. And I don't get it. It's one of those things. It's a market that's just full of other people doing reactions. So everybody. But you think if you love that stuff, you want to see other people's reactions. Hey, I do pretty good reactions, and I cut out all the fluff. I don't tell you long stories to butter you up. I just get right to the point with my trailer reactions. I thought the trailers were awesome. I thought it was great. But Thor, it was a big hit, big teaser. So that means that the buzz for it was good. And I think maybe a lot of it had to do with the fact that they waited so long to give us this teaser. Maybe that's why the numbers are so high. It's so close to Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. They had to get it out before that so they could put the trailers on that. Michael Kelly says in the live chat, I'll be here for Moon Knight. Cool, man. I hope you're ready to watch this. I'm hearing that Moon Knight episode 4 is pretty crazy. I hear that. He also says, I'll be here for Survivor. Bye-bye, Jonathan. So you think Jonathan's going to be gone tonight? Who knows? Yeah. We'll have to wait and see. But he does take to the air. Art Last Vikings in the live chat says, no Last Dance. Oh, Last Dance was, that documentary. Right. Was Michael Jordan's story in the last season with Chicago Bulls drama documentary. Yeah, I heard good things about that one. I never watched it though. But just a testament there to what's on Netflix is good stuff. Netflix is good stuff. They'll endure with that story. Don't worry about that. And Michael Jordan, Mikey, that story sounds cool. That sounds great. Where are we at? Oh, we're at Rebel Moon, First Images. Now, we just talked about this story earlier in the week. Zack Snyder signing a deal with Netflix. So, to shoot this movie, Rebel Moon, back to back, because it's going to be in 2 parts. He just signed this deal with them. So, yeah, it's going to be like a space opera kind of soldier fights kind of thing. And we got some first images here. We'll take a look at, we'll blow them up here in a moment. But let me give you the synopsis in case you're new. Rebel Moon takes place on a peaceful colony on the edge of the galaxy, which is threatened by the armies of a tyrannical regent named Belisarius. The desperate colonists dispatch a young woman with a mysterious past to seek out warriors from neighboring planets to help them make a last stand. So is Djimon Hounsou playing the bad guy, or is he just somebody who's helping her out? Let's take a look at this image a little bit blown up. That's Djimon Hounsou. He's a warrior. Black and white. That looks awesome. That looks great. Now there's some other behind the scenes photos there. Looks like of a ship and its launch bay or landing bay there. Ramp going up into the ship. They just built the inside there. It's going to be green screened in on some kind of desert planet or some desert scene. It lands down and probably people walk out and have a scene together. Zack Snyder. Cool, man. What's this? Yeah. He can't play the bad guy. Why can't he play the bad guy? Let's take a look at that. Blood. What? Sorry, not Blood. Rebel Moon. Yeah, I looked that up before. Let's just see if the gives the characters' names here on the IMDb. Okay, so no, Rupert Friend is the bad guy. Belisarius. Rupert Friend. And isn't Rupert Friend going to be in Obi-Wan in just a month? But it's got a huge cast, guys. Charlie Hunnam, Sophia Boutella, Jenna Malone, Cora. It looks like Sophia Boutella is going to be the girl that goes around to the other planets to find other warriors. Corey Stoll is in this. He's the bad guy in Ant-Man 1. Djimon Hounsou is General Titus. So that's our first look at General Titus right there. Or Titus. It really depends on how you... I hate... in Final Fantasy X, everybody who played the game the first time through called him Titus. And then when they relaunched, like, what was it? Kingdom Hearts or something, it was Titus. I was just like... and I think that's how you're supposed to pronounce it, but Titus, General Titus, Titus... I have to see how that plays out. Carrie Elways is in this too. Cool, man. Cool cast. Cool images. So he's going to be somebody that perhaps the Sophia Boutella character goes to for help. And Rebel Moon. What do you guys think about that? Let me know in the comments below. Okay, guys. Let's talk a little bit about the Northman Buzz. Anya Taylor-Joy. Anya. I was corrected about this. It's not Anya. She said in one of these interviews, her name it's pronounced Anya. So from now on, I'm going to be 100% making sure that I pronounce her name, Anya Taylor-Joy, out of respect. But apparently she smiled through the Northman despite freezing up in the mud to her knees. And there's a fun little article there on Variety where she talks about being pushed as an actor like that. She enjoyed that experience. And she's worked with Robert Eggers before on The Witch. So she's working with him again on The Northman. And The Northman comes out tomorrow. I'm seeing it tomorrow night, guys. 7:20 p.m. is my showtime. So pay attention to the channel and my live out of the theater reaction for that. I'm excited for it. I'm hyped. And I want to know what the buzz is for this. And Anya Taylor-Joy is just a true pleasure to watch. Somebody over on Joe Blow put together some box office predictions for this weekend saying that The Bad Guys, a kids movie, is going to come in at number 1 at 17 million. Are you serious? And they're projecting that Fantastic Beasts will make 16.5 million. That's more than 50%. That's like a 65% drop for Fantastic Beasts. It will come in the second spot. And Sonic 2 will be 16 million. And they're saying that The Northman is only going to make 10.5 million this weekend? Joe Blow, dude, no, I think, I don't see how that can happen. If The Northman only makes 10.5 million, Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent with Nicolas Cage also comes out. We'll take a look at the tomato meter for both of these because I think this is grossly wrong. What do you guys think for the box office projections for Nicolas Cage's movie and The Northman are going to be? The Northman had a budget of $90 million, and that's up there. Let's take a look at the tomato meter, sitting at 88% with 128 reviews. And it was sitting at 90, but I think the audience score is going to be in the 90 as well. 10 million is really under. I was hoping for 17 to 20 million. I was really hoping for 20 million for Northman. But maybe it's just, it's not the marketing, because the marketing is giving us what we want with the bloody violence and the gore and the casting, the pedigree of the director and the cast. Skarsgård, Nicole Kidman, Ethan Hawke, Anya Taylor-Joy, and it looked stellar. I can't believe that it's being forecasted for only $10 million. A $10 million opening on a $90 million budget is not going to cut it. So I'm hoping that I'm doing stories like this, other people are championing the film. It will go up, and people will be like, "You got to check out this movie." Although people just said that about Everything Everywhere All at Once, which is a movie I'm really excited to see. I'm going to go and see that too. But so I want to see Northman, I want to see Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, and I want to see Everything Everywhere All at Once. So I got 3 movies on the docket that I need to see. But The Northman is definitely my number one, and I hope it does make more than 10 million. Michael Kelly says in live chat, "I saw The Northman and shocked me to my core. Northman is great, but the director and cast are a bunch of knowns. With Willem Dafoe and everything. Are you saying that that's a bad thing for it? It doesn't work? I liked everything that I've seen from this movie, and I hope it does make more than 10 million. I feel this dude over on Joe Blow who made this forecast, kids movies, they do make bank. And why is that ad playing? I thought I paused that. Northman in the 4th spot. No. Because then you got Sonic there as well. You got Bad Guys. But Fantastic Beasts will fall about half. I still think Fantastic Beasts will be number 1. And this Bad Guys. I never even heard of the Bad Guys until now. Oh man, I was really hoping that it was going to do better than that. I forecasted better than 10.5. Over and under right now, 10.5. I say over. Michael Kelly says you must see KGF 2. I got to see that too. That's 4 guys. I really got to get out and see these movies. Let's take a look at The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent with Nicolas Cage, because Nicolas Cage has been getting some good buzz recently, saying that this is a good movie, and we see that there with the tomato meter saying 92%, and apparently the Mandalorian guy Pedro Pascal there really enjoyed working with him, and I'm looking forward to it. This one as well, Tiffany Haddish as well is in it, Neil Patrick Harris. Cool. And it looks like it's just a fun romp. He's he is playing himself, right? Because this guy hires Nicolas Cage to come and be on his island and stuff like that. And I just really want to see this one. I think it's going to be great. And Michael Kelly says, I saw Massive Talent and it was okay. So that's the buzz. That's the early buzz for what they think that the weekend's box office is going to be. And that's the buzz for both The Northman and Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. They think that Northman will be number 4 this weekend and Unbearable Weight will be number 5. Let's try to make that not happen, guys. Let's get out there and support those 2 movies, because those people want original material. You want original stuff, new movies that you haven't seen before. Support those movies because they need it. They need it. Oh my God, it's already 40 minutes and we're still got lots of stories to go through. Animal Farm. So, hold on. I did have a story here pulled about Nicolas Cage and how he turned down roles in Lord of the Rings and Matrix movies. Guys, And I was going to do a long thing about speculation as to who he was going to be in those movies. The articles don't say. He just says that he didn't want to be in those movies because he didn't want to go off to Australia or New Zealand for 3 years and be away from his family. That's all. That's all that story was. Our Glass Vikings in the live chat says, in all honesty, I doubt many families would go to see the Northman. Well, it's not a family movie over the Easter break. Your figures need to make allowances for holiday seasons. I wouldn't worry too much next week. But I was really hoping that Northman would be the #1 movie. I was really hoping it would be. I was really hoping that it did. Did you hear that Viola Davis got canceled? No, I didn't. But we can take a look at that towards the end of the show. That's going to be like an hour long today. Because... yeah, let's continue through my stories, guys, and we'll get to that stuff towards the end. Let's talk about this Animal Farm. Andy Serkis to direct another animated adaptation of Animal Farm for Cinesight. But any work that Andy Serkis does behind the camera, I champion, because as he develops, he gets better. He's already a good actor. He pioneered motion capture. We just saw him yesterday in the Batman. We did a full live stream of the Batman on the channel. So that's up there, guys. If you want to watch the Batman with me, put it in your copy and watch it with me. He was good in it. He was great. Yeah. And he's going to be doing this animated movie of Animal Farm. And there's been so many takes on this. I guess it's kind of topical for right now, but that's pretty much all you need to know from that. We'll try to go through some of these stories rather quickly now. 3.5 Men. I thought I had this keyed up at the top. 3.5 Men Reboot is making 4 key changes to the original movie. So Mo Marable, director of 3 Men and a Baby Reboot for Disney Plus, promises the film will be more diverse. Well, because it was about... I don't even like to acknowledge the fact that what it was about. It was just about 3 dudes taking care of a baby. I'm not going to acknowledge the color of this. But apparently it's going to be more diverse. And I got no problem with that. I have absolutely no problem with that. While 3 Men and a Baby was made for like a New York story, it sounds like this Mo Marable wants to make it more of a Brooklyn story. And that's okay. And guess who's attached to it? Zac Efron. Zac Efron has been attached to this. And they've just been reworking the script. So they've got some challenges in there that they maybe have that ghost child cameo. Did you ever hear about that? There's like a ghost in the movie. They're picking up the baby, and behind the curtains of one of the... you can't see that. Curtains. Behind the curtains of the apartment, there's like a cutout of a kid, but it looks like a ghost. There's like an advertisement stand cutout of a kid. And if you want to learn about this, the cast will be more diverse the way that I would do it. We'll see how Disney enjoys the script in the next 7 weeks. If I get my druthers, yes, I would love to have a cameo from one or all of them, from all of these people. Cool. Gutenberg, haven't seen him in a while, but a cameo of one of them in there, cool. Efron's still attached, but that's pretty much all you need to know about that, guys. Hey, there's a reboot for Disney Plus coming down the works. Halloween Ends will have a twist ending, hints the Michael Myers actor. A twist ending? So are you saying that this is not going to wrap up with Halloween Ends? Michael Myers actor Nick Castle promises Halloween Ends will be a surprising ending to the saga. Okay, so it does sound like it's going to definitively end, but it'll be surprising. Well, what would be surprising to end this? Michael has a kid somewhere that'll pick up the mantle? No, he's been locked up and he's not interested in procreating. He survives at the end and he carries on to do more? That's not that surprising. I'm expecting both him to die, and I'm expecting Laurie Strode here to die in this one. How surprising can that be, right? Or maybe she gets to live happily ever after. Is that a surprise? That would be I'm thinking both people are expecting for them to die. Let's see, there's a quote here. I think there might be more because of all the success of this trilogy, but Green will have a surprising storyline, an ending for everyone. And he's saying those words, ending. That means it ends, right? It's absolutely something I don't think you would have ever guessed in terms of the way it's going to unroll. What? The only way that you... What if it's all a dream? That's the surprise. The surprise is that all of the sequel trilogy that they've made here, the sequel reboot, has all been in her dream, right? She wakes up in a bed somewhere at the end of it, and it's like, that never happened. That would be like, they better not do anything like that. That would be just like stepping on the feet of the people who have liked Halloween and Halloween Kills. I don't know. Weird quote. I'll have to see how it plays out. We'll have to see once the trailers for this drops. It's already all in the can. It's coming out this October. We'll keep our eye on that for sure. Spawn, reboot. Todd McFarlane says it's now or never. Something has to happen. Well, something does have to happen. Not really. We know that Todd McFarlane's been trying to get this Spawn reboot off the ground. They wanted to make Spawn like Jaws. You didn't see him throughout the film that much, and towards the end, like that's when you would see him in big reveal. I don't know what they were smoking with this, but he has this big quote out there. If you're a Spawn fan, something's going to give in the next few months, right? See how he said that, right? So that he doesn't know what's going on. There's too many people pushing in that direction. And that's, and I've got a call later on that subject later today. He says that Spider-Man made $1 billion and everybody sort of wants to get some of that. Spawn is not going to make $1 billion. Spawn was never going to make $1 billion. Spawn is not a big enough property. These people that think that they can make movies like Spawn, Madame Web, Morbius, and think that they're going to make billions of dollars with these smaller properties. They're not. Like Voltron, it's a smaller niche audience. If you made a Spawn movie for like $10 million and made it like more practical, then yes, it would make money. You got to think small with these things, not big. And right now, you get the impression from McFarlane, he wants to make it big. He wants to make like, if you put $100 million into Spawn, you're just kissing that money goodbye. And I hate to say like the Debbie Downer on that, right? Is that a PC term? Like the downer person on that, Debbie Downer. Where did I get that from? I hope that doesn't mean actually what I think it means. Because I'm not like that. But you know what I mean. Something has to happen. It's now or never. And I would tell you right now, it sounds like it's going to be never. Until he lets go of the property and somebody else makes it for that smaller amount of money. That's the way I feel about it, Spawn. Fingers crossed, I would say it's now or never. So, oh, yeah. It's been in development for a while now, and I just don't... Hey, if it happens, I'll let you guys know, and we'll talk about it for sure. Liam Neeson said that he would be interested in returning to a Darkman Legacy sequel. Now, Darkman is a movie that came out in the early 90s, I think, and I love that movie with Sam Raimi. He directed this, and I like this movie quite a bit, but there's not much to hear as a quote, because Liam Neeson has a new movie coming out called, what's it called? Not The Mirrors. But it's another one, a Memory. He's got a new movie coming out. So he was doing press and somebody asked him about, would you do a Darkman? And it's another one of those action, hey, you took something from me and now I need revenge from you kind of movies. But he says in his quote here for Darkman, that's a good question. I would be very interested in reading the script, very. So if there was a script, which there isn't, maybe there's like a fan script out there. But as far as I know, Sam Raimi hasn't even talked about this or thought about making a sequel to it. There are sequels out there, but they're with a different actor. Arnold Vosloo from the Mummy series picked up the mantle. But if they did one with Liam Neeson, they could... who knows? I'll keep my eye on that. Twisted Metal TV show gets a director. Cool. So I played this game a lot. It was for PlayStation. It was kind of like a derby, right? Of these vehicles that would ram into each other and for points and stuff like that. And that's Sweet Tooth right there. But apparently, it's got Anthony Mackie attached to it. It's going to be on Peacock. And it's got a director now. He's going to be directing some of the episodes of this series, Twisted Metal, Kitao Sakurai. The Eric Andre shows, Kitao Sakurai. Okay. Hourglass and the Viking says in the live chat, I like Darkman, but the visual effects were a bit dated or budgeted. Yeah, they were. It would be good to see a modern take. Oh yeah, if they rebooted it, that would be interesting. It would be good to see a modern take with better VFX of Darkman. Yeah. Yeah, because I like that character. I liked how he didn't have the feelings anymore, and that kind of like short-circuited his brain, and he would go off in these rage tantrums kind of thing. But I like the way that Liam Neeson played it, and maybe not a sequel, a reboot, Hourglass. Yeah, I think I would agree with that. All right, guys, we're wrapping up the show here. I'm going to have to wrap this up. I was going to play guitar today, but maybe not, because I want to have my breakfast, and then we'll get ready to watch Moon Knight. Somebody went through this Ugo Rebot over on Twitter, put in Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man into Civil War footage from Captain America Civil War. So this is actually fairly well done stuff. Andrew Garfield Spider-Man fighting, Winter Soldier. This Ugo Rebot. Yeah, he put that in. So he just did a few images there. I thought that was kind of fun to throw in there. And I think that's pretty much where we're ending today. I was going to go into the story about Zoe Kravitz talking about the Batman and Catwoman and their relationship, but we talked about the Batman yesterday on yesterday's show. We watched the movie together, guys, and that's what you're going to get on this channel. Movie reviews, movie news, daily, 12 p.m. Eastern, Monday to Friday. We go through all the headlines just like we did here. A lot of headlines today. So, you see how quickly I went through it too? I didn't give a whole lot of fluff. And that's pretty much the way that has been today. Michael Kelly wanted me to take a look at this story for Viola Davis. I just typed in that into the Google. Not seeing this. Not seeing it. How did it get away? Oh, or you mean that How to Get Away with Murder was canceled? Not seen it. Any time past 24 hours. If I see anything here, guys, I will mention it on tomorrow's show for sure, if anything happens. Okay, so she's talking about casting to be a certain color or not there. Maybe that's what you're talking about, but it didn't seem like that was in trending there on Google or anything. But if it's there, we'll talk about it tomorrow. Michael Kelly says, Viola Davis portraying Michelle Obama and people hate the portrayal. Oh, okay. But you know what? She does sort of look a little bit like Michelle Obama. Interesting. That's the way it's been today in the realm of movie and entertainment news, guys. Big stories, big stories. Let me know what you thought about some of them in the comments below, and we will talk about it. Join us later on for Moon Knight, for Survivor. Later on this week, we're going to be watching more movies too. Yes, more movie reactions, more full stuff, lots of stuff. We're going to be talking about Northman for sure. Yeah. All right. See you guys in a bit if you're going to be joining us for Moon Knight. See you tomorrow for more movie news.